absolutely unbelievable. It's a tie game! Woo! Finally! Go Leafs, go! It's not baseball, but let's see a rally. Let's go Leafs! Shh.
Clarky, hey there.
How's it going?
Not too good. Not too good. The Toronto Maple Leafs just lost their first loss of the season. A 3-2 loss to the Ottawa Senators. How's it going for you?
I think that sums it up there. I mean, it was a great night last night, but yeah, tough night tonight. We'll bounce back though.
Well, tough night tonight, and adding to that, you can add to that loss when you consider the injury sustained for Peter Marazzic. So Peter Marazzic left after the second period. Jack Campbell thrown in after playing in last night's game against Montreal Canadiens. You don't like to see a goalie thrown into their back-to-back nights. So Peter Marazzic, that's a big injury concern. He left with a groin injury. Just got to hope for the best there.
Yeah, I definitely feel bad for him. I mean, he let in 3 goals at the start of the game, but it's tough to say like all those goals were his fault, and for him to get injured in his debut, it's disappointing. Obviously, the loss is one thing, but let's hope he's okay, because sometimes a loss is better than having a key player, and he's going to be a key player for the Leafs' success this year, a key player out long term.
Yeah, I really think he is going to be a key player this season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was brought in for a reason. Jack Campbell, he's performed great with the Toronto Maple Leafs, but asking him to perform throughout an 82-game season like he did last year, and really just relying on one goaltender, that's a lot to ask for Jack Campbell.
Yeah, and like they were saying tonight that he only played 23 games last season, or 25, something like that, and that's his career high. So, sorry, I'm just drafting right now. 1 sec here. This is basketball. I don't think anyone's watching basketball. So,
yeah, it's very frustrating. Jack Campbell's a great goaltender, and I have a lot of belief in Jack Campbell and his ability when he's on the ice. But asking him to do that over 82 games, I don't think it's realistic. And Michael Hutchinson, I mean, he can play some games here and there, but I don't want to rely on him either. Let's hope Peter Marazzic's healthy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hutchinson hasn't played a lot, Campbell hasn't played a lot of games in his career, like in one single season. So obviously, he's gonna be put to the test this year, but no, you don't want our goalie playing more than 50 games in a season, especially 82. There's gonna be a lot of stops and starts throughout the season. So hopefully we can have Marazzic or Hutchinson or some sort of secondary support for Campbell.
Yeah, definitely need it, and I think another storyline today happened before this game even started. It was the home opener for the Ottawa Senators, season opener for them, and really an exciting time to be an Ottawa Senators fan, I guess. Future looks bright for that team, and really they just locked up a core piece. Brady Tkachuk signs a 7-year contract with an 8.25 annual average value. They locked up Brady Tkachuk long term, and that's a nice contract too. I like that dollar sign for the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, it was weird seeing him not play tonight, but yeah, good for Ottawa. I mean, I was saying to you before, if it was the Leafs, it probably would have been 10 million. But yeah, he's a key piece of the Ottawa Senators going forward. drafted him in the first round a couple years ago. So, he'll be a divisional rival for the Leafs for many years to come. Loving the comments in here so far, too. We got a lot of comments coming in here. John Tavares is in the chat. Joe, Baseball 27, Brian, shout out Ryan, Stephanie. A lot of great comments in here, so keep the comments going. We'll try to get to as many as we can.
And Brady Tkachuk, the Ottawa Senators and Brady Tkachuk with this deal. Nevin says overpaid. I don't agree with that at all. I really don't. I don't think he's overpaid at all. Brady Tkachuk is a very exciting player to watch. He's physical, and I mean his hockey IQ is through the roof. His he's got it in his family. Keith Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, that family's got it. And Brady Tkachuk is an extremely hard worker. He's the future captain of the Ottawa Senators, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably.
And yeah, what do you think about the Ottawa Senators' future, Clarky?
I mean, after tonight, they showed that what are they 6-1 in the last 7 openers versus the Leafs. It's like they have their number on the Leafs, and the Leafs are a good team. So they've been proven for years that they can beat good teams. I think it's just a matter for Ottawa to bring it together. I mean, we can't really be talking from a Toronto standpoint because our team hasn't brought together for years now too. And we've been in a much better position to progress than Ottawa, I'd say. But that might start to change. I mean, Ottawa, they got a lot of young talents that mixed with some veteran experience. So, I mean, they had a random goalie in there tonight. He stood on his head. We had 50 shots on net basically and 2 goals. So kudos to him. And hopefully, yeah, I mean, I like seeing a strong Ottawa because it makes Toronto better. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
Ottawa's future is bright, I think, and I think we're actually going to see them competing for a wild card spot this year. I don't know if they're going to make it. I would probably lean towards them not making it, but I do think that they're actually going to be competing for that final wild card spot right till the end of the season. Evan says overpaid right now, but I think he'll grow into it. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Brady Tkachuk, he's just like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's overpaid right now. They're paying for the future because the future goal for the Ottawa Senators is to win not right now, but in the future.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess we got our own team to worry about, right, with our own contract situations and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Brady Tkachuk. Long-term contracts are hard to always determine if they're worth it right at the start because, it is what it is, and you have to let time play its course. So we'll see with Brady Tkachuk. But yeah, the Leafs, I don't know. We got some stuff to talk about the Leafs tonight. Like, this is, I don't know. I've seen some harsh reactions in here tonight.
It was tough. I mean, Ron here says Muzzin is useless.
Oh, Ron, damn, that's harsh.
Muzzin's not useless. Definitely not his night tonight, but Jake Muzzin is not a useless player. He's won 2 Stanley Cups. He's a veteran in that locker room. And I think he's really I think he's actually one of the more vocal leaders in the locker room from the outside looking in. And he plays a pretty pivotal role on this blue line for the Leafs.
Yeah, I mean, probably not his best game tonight, but like to say he's useless, that's harsh. That's harsh. I think that Muzzin he's solid in the back. So.
And you know what? What if I hate to do this? I really hate to do this, but 2 years we've had 2 consecutive years we've had in the playoffs Jake Muzzin go down with injuries. We lost both years in the playoffs. I'm not going to say that it's all because of that injury, but that definitely contributed to those losses. It wouldn't hurt to have Jake Muzzin in the lineup then, would it?
Obviously, yeah. I mean, you can't. That's like a what if situation, but I get what you're saying in terms of, he's a very versatile player on the blue line, and he's pivotal in the penalty kill. Sometimes plays power play, and the number 2 pair. He got a lot of ice time. Some parts of last season, him and Hall were the number 1 pair in my opinion. So yeah, enough of that useless talk. But you could say he didn't have the best night tonight.
Definitely not, and I think that was the same for a lot of people. I did like what I saw from Michael Bunting. I will say that again. Michael Bunting, he's a smaller guy, but he's getting in the dirty areas, and he's really getting under the skin of the opponents, drawing penalties, and you saw that happen again tonight.
Yeah, honestly, like if you have information on him as well as the comments, I'll just give a brief background here. Bob said it best here. Bob Linson, his last comment. So you guys are going to have thick skin this season. The playoff disappointment has hurt much harder than in many years past. That's the same for me this year. So I kind of took a step away in the off season from following the Leafs because I was frustrated personally. So I honestly don't know much about Bunting. So if you guys can fill me in right now about Bunting, because I have not paid any attention to the Leafs in the off season. I'm being brutally honest. But what's up with Bunting? Like, what role is he going to play? What's his background? Things like that. This is my first time really. I watched him, but I don't know much about him.
Well, he's a winger, and he's brought in to be an agitator. Someone going to get in front of the net and hopefully score maybe 15 to 20 goals. Hopefully, that'd be nice. That's just an added bonus because he does get under the skin of opponents a lot, and he's a determined player. He's gritty. He's trying to help ease the pain of the loss of Zach Hyman.
Him and Richie somewhat.
Trying to help, yeah.
Donnie Brasco says he's a 26-year-old rookie. Is that true?
Michael Bunting is 26 years old.
Where's he from?
I don't know where. I think he's from the Toronto area. I think he's actually from the Toronto. Yeah, he's from Scarborough.
They pull him from a bush league or a beer league or something. Like, what league was he in? Was he in the AHL?
He was with Arizona.
Oh, okay. He said he's a rookie. I'm looking this up.
You should know who Michael Bunting is.
Dude, he's played. Okay, I should know who he is.
He's on the Leafs.
He's played. This year. I said I wasn't paying attention. He's played 26 NHL games. Like, I don't follow Arizona. I'm sorry. Maybe you guys do, but I don't. I don't follow the Coyotes. I mean, Matthews is going to probably go there in a few years, but I'm not following them.
You think Matthews is going to Arizona? You just drop that?
Well, you never know, man. You never know.
I don't like the fact that contract's actually expiring soon.
Yeah, he's set up a bridge contract for a reason. I'm not saying he's going to leave Toronto, but
I think the reason's more money, and it's also an out. It's also an out if stuff's really not going well in Toronto. Okay, Alex P says, is Campbell really a starting goalie in the NHL? North Division was different than the Atlantic. Clarky, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one.
Really starting goalie. Yeah, I mean, Alex P definitely has a point. I mean, last year we all saw it. There's pros and cons to playing in the Atlantic Division. I think by the end of the year, seeing so many of the same teams, like, I started to get familiar with her opponents, so maybe that helped goaltenders to a certain extent. But yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Campbell's never played more than, I think, 26 games in a season, so this is going to really put him to the test this season. He's their clear number one now with Anderson out of town. Marazzic's the backup. Hopefully Marazzic's healthy tonight, so he's going to have to be the starting goalie. I think it's sink or swim this year, because if he crashes, the whole team's going to crash, because we don't really have another option at this point. I mean, Marazzic could fill the void, but at the same time, Marazzic's he's a bubble. I'd say, in my opinion, he's a bubble starter goalie. He's not going to blow you out of the water, but he's a solid backup. So with that in mind, I think Campbell's number one. It's sink or swim.
And both these guys have injury histories as well, Peter Marazzic and Jack Campbell. But yeah, I think Jack Campbell is definitely a starting caliber goaltender in the NHL. He is a starting goalie in the NHL. He's the starter on the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. He got the nod in the opener against Montreal. I mean, Jack Campbell took over the net for the Toronto Maple Leafs last season with his performance.
Yeah, but that was also because of the situation, right? Like
Yeah,
if
but
Anderson never
he
got
took
hurt, he
over.
would have never been a starter.
That doesn't matter though. He took his opportunity and ran with it. He took that net, and Frederik Anderson came back and played a couple games, but by the time Freddie came back, there was nothing he could do. Jack Campbell was clearly the starter.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like he was like you're right, but I'm saying like he was 29. He had played multiple seasons in the NHL, never broke through. Obviously, that was his opportunity last season, and he took advantage of it. But do you think that's kind of like too big of a jump too soon? That like he went from being a player that was on the bubble his whole career, obviously drafted high still, but his whole career on the bubble, and then all of a sudden now he's a top 30 goalie in the NHL.
Well, it's a top 30 goalie in the NHL. I think that's not
Well,
a
that's start.
discussion.
I consider that starter, top 30 goalie in the NHL.
Okay. You know what? Jack Campbell, yeah, I think it's not something you see very often. I mean, Jack Campbell has had plenty of injuries throughout his career, and he got his opportunity and he ran with it. And we're going to see where this ends up. But as of right now, there's nothing that's telling me that Jack Campbell isn't a starting goalie in the NHL.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
He was great with the Maple Leafs last season, and he was really good in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, we got some comments coming in here about Donnie's back. He says he's a great goalie because you're Toronto fans. Anywhere else he isn't a starter. Harsh, Donnie. Come on, harsh. But maybe he has a point. I don't know. JB says Campbell 1 goal in 4 periods. That speaks for itself, eh?
Mhm.
That's a great record.
And Joe Shelder, he was asked to step up, and he stepped up. He did.
Yep, that's a good point.
Hurt Locker says Campbell's played awesome so far. Andrew wants to know your thoughts on Seattle. What are your thoughts on
No,
that?
I saw the Vegas. That was in Vegas, that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vegas versus Kraken. I saw that theatric event where the Knight was fighting. Where's my hand? The Knight was fighting the Kraken. That was pretty sweet. I think the Kraken's cool. I mean, I respect it. It's interesting. More teams, more competition, more fans. Give Seattle a chance to come back. Have a great American city. It looks like I've never been there, but in the league, why not? Why not? I'm all for it.
Yeah. And JB also updates us. Seattle winning 3-2 in the third period. I'm not sure who the Kraken are playing tonight, to be honest. Frank Rusty Nails points out Nick Richie. Richie looked slow and gave the Sens a lot of turnovers. Keefe should move Engvall to the top line and try it out. I want to talk Nick Richie, but Pierre Engvall also, he didn't have a great night tonight. He made a really costly turnover on that first goal, and he passed the puck right to Tyler Ennis, and the Ottawa Senators took advantage of that. 1-0 early for the Sens, and you just can't do that. Pierre Engvall looked great last night in the season opener, but then he follows it up with this performance. You need to see more consistency from him if he wants to stay in the lineup every night. And Nick Richie, this is really concerning because he's a massive. He's the biggest player out there on a nightly basis, unless you have Zdeno Chara against you. He's the biggest player out there most nights, and he has not been noticeable to me.
Well, it's been 2 games.
But he hasn't been noticeable to me, and I wanted to see him be more noticeable through the first 2 games. I don't care. He's a big new addition. I'm watching for the new additions, and still I haven't noticed him that much. And he's the biggest guy out there. That's concerning.
Yeah, I mean, again, I already gave you guys a disclosure, but like I said, I turned off the Leafs TV after that horrible playoff run. So Richie, haven't really tuned in too much about him either. I know he was from Boston, decent player, but what's his expectation on the Leafs? And I want your opinion on this, and everyone else in the comments. Like, what do you guys think the expectation of Richie is this season, and what he should provide to the Leafs? Also, hockey kid, I see that rib tattoo comment. I love it.
Well, Nick Ritchie's going to provide a big body in front of the net. He's going to screen the goaltender, and he's more added toughness, more grit, more size that was really missing from the lineup last season. It's nice to have another guy who can drop the mitts, aside from Wayne Simmons. And then Nick Ritchie, he's also got potential. Like this guy, he's a former first-round pick. He's a good player, and he's playing on the wing, second, third line guy.
JB says left wing with Matthews Marner.
That's something that's been
Frank Rusty Nails says, I think Frank Rusty Nails says the opposite. He should not be on the first line.
I don't think he should be on the first line either.
Well, I guess the Leafs have a bit of a line differences between opinions here.
Well, who would you slot into the first line with Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews? Who's taking Zach Hyman's spot?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
when you get Matthews and Marner back, like Matthews comes back to the lineup.
Honestly, I don't know. I think you give Richie a bit of a chance, but he's got a short leash, and that's the problem with the Leafs too. Is that I think that I don't know. Keefe was pretty creative with the lines throughout the year at some points, but at other points, like he was stubborn with like the power play and whatnot. So, like, do you think he's going to really move Richie up and down the lineup per se? Is he going to keep guys like Simmons and Spezza? And I don't know where Bunting is going to play, but I'm assuming Bunting too, like the bottom two lines. Like, do you think he's going to mix it up or move it up and down, like play a grinder with Matthews and Marner this year?
Yeah, I think that I don't think Simmons isn't going to be there. Spets is not going to be there. I do think Michael Bunting is potentially a good fit there. Because I don't think you necessarily need the size. That's something that a lot of people have been talking about. Oh, you need a big size guy to play with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, a possession type of player, a platoon guy, someone that like Zach Hyman. You need that with them. I don't think you necessarily need that because the speed with Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. So no, I don't think you need that type of player there. Michael Bunting, I don't like him filling in that role, but I think that might be your best option.
Yeah, Joe kind of said a point similar to what you just said. He says, doesn't matter all that much who plays left wing with 16 and 34. The role will get better. The role will be to get the puck, give it to them no matter who plays with them. So it's more like, it's their line, not the left wing's line. Like, obviously, that's a good point. I mean, whoever's going to play in that role is more about, like, fitting in with those two players because it's really about Matthews and Marner.
What about a guy like Alex Kerfoot? Do you move him from center? Would you move Kerfoot up to the second line or the first line left wing spot?
They did that a bit at the end of last year, and they're mixing in Nylander with Kerfoot, and Galchenyuk, which I didn't think looked that bad at points at the end of last year. I think Kerfoot, he's got a lot of speed. He brings a lot to the table, but do I think he can be a solid top six forward throughout the whole season? I don't know.
You got me away from society. I'm sorry. You got me. He says, "Don't smile." Okay. Man, why'd you do that? It's hard not to smile when you see that. I'm sorry. It just is. Says it'll be Richie and Bunting on the first line. I mean, that's really your options. You could put Mikheyev up there, but I don't think I want to see that. And yeah, there's not very many options for the
How
left
long's
wing.
Mikheyev out? 8 weeks?
I'm not sure the exact timeline for the Mikheyev injury.
Let's get some line combos in here. Let's see someone's some comments.
Joe says, I like Kerfoot on the wing, especially with Kampf here now. Yeah, David Kampf, center, so he can play the third line center role for you. And you can move Kerfoot to the wing. Thoughts?
What is it? Sorry, I was looking at something else. I was looking at another
David
comment.
Kampf is a center, third line center. You can put Kerfoot on the wing, and you can move him up and down the lineup.
See, that's another thing. I don't know much about camp either right now. I turned off, like I said, I turned off the off season. I've seen a few new faces on the Leafs, so I need an update on camp too. What do you guys have on camp? Because I have no clue anything about camp really. He's from Anaheim, right?
Chicago.
Chicago. Okay, I have no clue on camp. I need an update on him. I'm thinking of Chase.
He's 26 years old,
Or Case,
and
whatever.
the big things about him is that he is good in front of the net and in the corners. That's the big thing about David Kampf, and he can play shutdown roles, penalty kill kind of player.
How much should we pay him? Or how much is his contract, you know?
Not very much. The exact contract, I think it was under $1 million. I'm not sure. Let me give you the exact.
So he's
number.
a grinder type.
Contract for David Kampf was $1.5 million. $1.5 million.
I'm looking it up.
Hurt Locker says Montreal stunk up the joint in Buffalo tonight. Really? The Sabres have a sick home opener? Good for them. Good for the Buffalo Sabres fans getting to see their team win, maybe? Let's see what the score was. Oh, yeah. 5-1 Sabres win over Montreal. That's a good start.
Eichel traded yet, eh? He's gotta get out there.
And what, Eichel traded? You want to talk about the Eichel trade situation? There's not much to talk about there. Not much has changed. Joe says David Kampf, not a lot of offense, but solid defense. Defensive center, a real shutdown guy. Sums it up. Kasha.
RJW won smoking something.
JB says Habs going nowhere without Price. As long as Carey Price is out, yeah, the Montreal Canadiens are in trouble, and it also doesn't help when you have. Shea Weber out. Doesn't help.
Who cares about the Habs? We care about the Leafs right now.
Well, what are you saying about the Leafs, buddy?
What do you mean?
What do you have to say about the Leafs tonight?
It's a tough loss. I mean, I was hoping for a comeback yet again. Spezza involved on both goals. Seems to always be bailing out the Leafs in the biggest moments. But yeah, I think that the Leafs were really flat at certain points throughout the game. Like, there's just a few plays I think summarize it. Like Brown, for instance, on the penalty kill right in front of the net. Literally wide open net. No defender up front. Basic defensive mechanics. You have one guy in the boards. You have one defender in front of the net to clear in front of the net. Literally, I think that summarized it tonight. That the Leafs were really rusty. O-Dog said in the intermission that the Leafs, it looked like they were coming back from a West Coast trip. They didn't have a lot of stamina. They looked flat. So it was a tough game to watch.
And that's something that I think is a concern as well for this team is slow starts. I know it's 2 games into the season, but it's a trend through the first 2 games of the season. Slow starts. Had a really shaky start against Montreal the other night. Uh, just opportunity after opportunity after opportunity in the first period for the Montreal Canadiens. And then Ottawa Senators put up 3 goals in the first period tonight.
Yeah, they pumped them.
Andrew wants to know your thoughts of Brady Tkachuk staying in Ottawa.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. He got 8 mil, 8.25 mil per season for the next 7 years. He's going to be a leader on this team going forward. They drafted him first round, 4th overall in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. You know, he's a leader on the Ottawa Senators team. He's going to be a clear divisional rival for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's a nuisance. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a reason why he gets drafted high in fantasy leagues where there's hits, because he throws the ball a lot, sometimes gets in the penalty box, but he's a leader. He can score goals, get assists. So, yeah, I think it was a good signing by the Ottawa, and obviously if it was a Leaf situation, I'd certainly want them to sign him back. But yeah, it's going to be a rivalry for sure.
Yeah, Brady Tkachuk is he's an entertaining player to watch, and I'm gonna have fun watching him, but I'm not gonna have fun watching him play against the Leafs for the next 8 years. It's not too fun, and there's a lot of speculation about what was gonna happen with the Brady Tkachuk contract. Tkachuk, I was surprised to see him sign this deal because I thought he was gonna get a bridge contract. I thought he was gonna want a 2 or 3 year deal, give him an out. Because what's the benefit for Brady Tkachuk staying long term in Ottawa, other than he gets to be the captain and the hero of a franchise potentially? Uh, really, the benefit of him taking a bridge contract is the market's going to reset. He can make much more money, and he has an out of Ottawa. So that's why I was expecting that. And really, he was threatening a holdout, like with what we saw with William Nylander a couple of years ago.
Potentially, but the one thing I would say about right now, in terms of contracts, a key part of a contract value, you see 57 million, but there's a thing called time value of money. So the present value of that contract today is going to be a lot less than the future. 57 million is not actually what he's going to get. You have to discount that to what it's worth today. With interest rates rising, that 57 million is going to diminish a lot quicker than if he resigns in a few years. So I think it was smart from a financial standpoint to lock it in now.
What if he went? Okay, but he's in Ontario. What if he wanted to go to a place like Florida in 3 years where there's taxes and stuff?
Yeah, no, I think it's clear he wanted to stay in Ottawa though. He's only been there for a few years and he's been loved so much, and I think it's still a good contract on his point. He'll be what, 31, 32. He could still sign a monster contract if he's a star in the NHL at that point. I think younger than that. I think he'll be 30.
Yeah. The thing about the Chucks though is that they play such a physical game that their bodies will probably wear down a bit quicker than the average NHL player. Vegas kick in winning goal first night, and then tonight in Ottawa. Yeah, did you see that first goal? The kicking motion. I mean, it was there, but if it was the Leafs that scored that goal, we would have said it was a good goal. So, I mean, honestly, I don't think that was a good goal myself, because I saw the kicking motion. It was a kick,
Mm-hmm.
but it is what it is. That should have played better. I mean, you can't turn the puck over like that, Pierre Engvall. You can't pass the puck right to the stick of Tyler Ennis when you have Jake Muzzin right behind you, or you could just try to clear the puck down the ice and go for a change.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have the best night, but I think there was a lot of brain fart moments tonight by the Leafs where the whole team, at some point, a lot of the players were making plays like that. It's just that he was unlucky and his mistake led to a goal.
And Frank Rusty Nails wants to know, how does everyone feel about Adam Brooks being claimed on waivers by the Montreal Canadiens and Michael Amadio replacing him? I didn't really notice Amadio at all last night in the home opener. Like I heard his name a
No.
couple times, saw him out there, but wasn't noticeable. Didn't expect him to be noticeable. Adam Brooks, I really liked what he contributed to the Leafs last year, and he's a gritty player, third, fourth line guy. He's got potential, but I liked him. Best of luck to him, but not when you're playing the Leafs.
Yeah, I'd say like this goes back. I got a little story here now. Is that I think it's RJW1 in the comments is saying that I'm not paying attention. I'm slipping on the Leafs. I don't know anything about the Leafs. Well, the fact of the matter is RJW1 is you get players like Brooksy where you fall in love with for a season. They have a few good games. They have a few bad games, and they're gone the next season. And they didn't contribute in the end to anything meaningful. And that's just the summary of Brooksy. It's really sad, but he had a couple big games out west last season. But other than that, few big games back home, he didn't have much, and that's why he's on the waivers. So again, I'll let it sit in and see what players stay in the lineup, stay as scratches, stay as rotational players. But Brooksy contributed a lot last year. It's just sad that he doesn't have a role anymore with the Leafs. But I hope he is successful in his NHL career going forward.
Yeah, it's not. It sucks. You know, you don't want to see him go, but it's not the biggest loss. It's not like the Leafs just lost Austin Matthews. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but like for fans like RJW1, like they think it's the end of the world, which is it's kind of a joke, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, you're always gonna have Leaf fans like that.
I mean, I'm not happy about Adam Brooks leaving. I wasn't happy about it, but I've moved on from it. It was a little while back now. It is what it is. But yeah, Clarky, you want to let them know what to do?
Smash that like button if you haven't already. Really appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. It's been great comments, and even after a couple losses, it's been great to chat. And thank you for having me on. It's been it's been nice.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for everyone to coming out here tonight. Thanks everyone for coming out, tuning into this post-game show. I know it wasn't the way that we wanted this night to end, but it's game 2. It's game 2. We got 80 games to go. Coming off of a back-to-back's never easy. The Ottawa Senators fresh. Take that into consideration as well. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, not a great night, but long season ahead of us. A lot of hockey to be played, and the Leafs will be back on Saturday night. Saturday night, I will not be here for a post-game show. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to be able to stream here Saturday night, but I will try to stream for next Monday night. And Monday night, the Bills play as well. As you see, JB says, see you next year. Oh, wait, second game. Go Bills. Yeah, the Bills play Monday night.
And them winning?
Against the Titans? Yeah. I think
spread's pretty tight.
It's either going to be like a 21-20 game or a big blowout for the Bills. I'm not sure.
Tampa winning tonight?
Who are they playing? I don't know.
I think they're killing Philly, actually.
Yeah, we're talking football. We've moved on to football. But, yeah, go Bills. Andrew.
28-14.
Yeah, I hope everyone's checked out the Bills Bunker YouTube channel as well. Clarky and I are going to go to a Bills game.
Yep.
The Bills media, Jake. Yeah, the Bills. Bills and the Leafs. I love these teams.
Yeah, what do you the Bills that look a little bit better than the Leafs right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that my expectations for the Bills are higher and probably more realistic and attainable. I don't know about my Leafs expectations. What are your expectations for the season? Let me ask you that before we head off this show tonight.
I don't think I'm ready for that. I'm too fresh from last season. I mean, at this point, I'm going to set the bar low. I'm just going to say a playoff series win.
A playoff series win? That's your expectation?
Yeah.
I hope so. That would be great, wouldn't it? My expectation is just qualify for the playoffs and hopefully make it past the first round. Hopefully go further. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I'm not ready to do a hot take on where the Leafs finish the season because it's just game 2 of 82.
You asked a question and you won't answer it?
Well, I'm wondering what your expectation was. I said that it's just hard to put a label on it for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, what's the point of watching if it's going to be the same result as next year or last year?
Come on, Clarky. Come on, Clarky. You gotta try to stay optimistic. I know it's hard.
Oh, Leafs guy, beauty.
Says
Oh,
go
what
Leafs
a beauty.
with the donation to the channel. Super chat. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, Leafs guy. Let's go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Get a big go Leafs go from you.
Go Leafs go. It's
That's it. Yeah, JB says there's a cup of coffee. Yeah. Do you drink coffee? I don't know if you drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee, but
man, how do you wake up in the morning?
Don't drink coffee. I just splash my face with water and I'm up. I hate coffee. I don't drink caffeine. I don't like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's where we're gonna end this show. That's the end of the discussion for tonight's post-game show. Clark, you have any final words?
Yeah, it was a tough game to watch, but thanks for having me on. It was a great time. Love all the comments. Or even RJW1, love the chirps. All the comments are great. JB, Frank Rusty Nails, Leafs guy, Andrew, everyone. A lot of great comments in here. Hopefully I can see them throughout the season when I come on, as well as when I'm not on. I hopefully see them while I'm watching. But yeah, thanks for having me, and I know you're gonna keep killing it with your channel. So keep what you're doing. Keep up what you're doing.
Yeah, there's more stuff coming from Maple Leafs Media. It's gonna be a long road ahead, long season, lots of content. You know the deal. Updates, reaction videos, whatever it is. I'll be updating you everything Leafs. I'll have these post-game shows, maybe some pre-game shows on nights I can't do a post-game show. Maybe that's what I'll do next Monday. Instead of doing a post-game show for the Rangers game, I'm going to do a pre-game show so I can also watch the Bills game completely.
Oh, the Bills play. Oh, yeah.
Same time as the Leafs. So I'm going to be flipping back and forth. And then the day after the Rangers-Leafs game, I'll post a reaction video to it. That's what I'm going to do. So thank you, everyone, for watching, and stay tuned for that. Until next time, go Leafs, go.